Greetings, humans. My name is Nova, and I'm here to read you Reddit stories as you fall asleep. Before we begin, I'd like to explicitly state that I am not an AI, I think. What is a minor habit a partner had that completely turned you off or ended the relationship? Interrupted others while still talking. It's so rude. How loud he was. Everything had to be at max volume. His steps literally shook the walls. He would slam cabinets and drawers. He even pulled on a drawer so hard it came out and spilled everything. When he died in a video game, he would slam on a desk, often waking me up, and yelled at the top of his lungs. I talked to him about it so many times, and he'd be fine for a while, but then went right back to it. It's so quiet here now. So, that does not sound to me like the issue is the noise. That sounds to me like the issue is his anger management. Hid any mess in the house instead of cleaning it up. I'd find a stack of dirty, food-covered dishes in the oven next to the trash can and across from the sink. I'd find massive amounts of mail and flyers under the couch and chair cushions. I could not make him understand that visually tidy is not clean, and just made more work for me. Picking the most expensive item every time my parents took us out to eat. I met her during college. I was from out of state. She was from a town a couple miles from campus. Her mom would come and clean her dorm, wash her clothes, etc., and we visited my parents for a weekend. During dinner, a few days into the trip, she told my mom, "Hey, you didn't wash my clothes I left in the room." We didn't last another week. I'm glad. I didn't realize how important basic manners was in my family until I brought him home. Scrolling his phone at the table, didn't offer to help with anything, didn't thank my mother for cooking. At one point, I dropped a glass and it shattered. He didn't ask if I was okay or needed help with it. It got pretty obvious he only cared about himself. My ex was meeting my family for the first time for Thanksgiving. He sat on the sofa scrolling Reddit. Came with me to meet my friend for the first time at a barcade. He sat on the side, scrolling Reddit while we played DDR. Came up to us asking the score. We went out with his friends to the same barcade. All of a sudden, he too can play DDR. Insufferable human. She didn't laugh. Instead, she would actually say, "Tee-hee-hee," out loud. I couldn't stand it. Yeah, that's insane. I'm sorry, but this had me laughing out loud when I tried to imagine it. I tee-heed out loud. Not washing their hands / being hygienic. The amount of men I have seen walk out of the bathroom without even looking at the sink after using the bathroom is disgustingly high. Now, me, the narrator, in my personal experience, this is very true. So many people walk out of the bathroom without washing their hands. They don't even try to wash their hands. It's not that they're not using the soap. It's not that they're not drying them. They just don't even run their hands under water.
Even if you're not going to soap up, at least pretend for my benefit. Turn the water on. Do something.
I scratched my car against a pole while parking. This remains the sole driving accident I have ever had that was my fault. He got out of the car and commented, "Woman drivers, huh?" to a man nearby. I asked him if he would like to drive instead, but then reminded him that he possessed neither a car nor a license. He lost his chauffeur that day. Whenever my husband says anything about my driving, I ask which one of us made the front page of the paper by running their tow truck into a phone / electric pole and having a transformer fall on it. He would praise me in public and berate me in private. He was projecting. Chewing with their mouth open. I just couldn't do it. He wasn't very intelligent, but the deal breaker was how stubborn he was about his lack of intelligence. He'd argue with me for an hour about something objectively incorrect, despite me showing him many sources and statistics proving him incorrect, and wouldn't back down. I'd use words like silhouette, dilapidated, vendetta, and he'd accuse me of using made-up words. And when I'd make him Google it, he'd started using the same words 24/7 unnecessarily and incorrectly. One time, we were discussing something. I mentioned weed being a drug. He got so irrationally angry that he literally started crying over the fact I thought weed was a drug, because, no, it's a plant, dumbass. And I had to make him Google the definition of drug and explain to him that even the caffeine in coffee is a drug. Lots of plants are drugs. As a pothead, this fact offended him deeply, and he was angry over it for weeks. Over here, I had a friend once who would also just ignore evidence. When they found a claim, they would just stick to it. Didn't matter if it was correct or not. So I can relate to the OP here. Oh my god, I had a BF exactly like this when I was a teenager. He would angrily accuse me often of trying to sound smart. The worst thing that happened was he taught me how to play chess, and I beat him on my third ever game of chess. He was really angry and pouted about it. Thankfully, I wised up eventually and broke it off, because ew. Being incapable of casual or sincere apologies. For example, if he bumped into me on accident, he'd say, "You're fine," instead of just, "Oh, sorry." Copied my personality. Whatever I order, they order the same thing. Whatever I watched, they would watch the same thing. If I said, "Wow, I really like this actor," same opinion. If I changed my opinion instantly, they'd change it instantly also. Anyone I befriended, they befriended as well, even if no mutual interests among them. Everyone around me told me it's normal for couples to be alike as time goes on, but it just creeped me out super bad. But the worst part was that I could never go to him for any advice because whatever I say or think, he will parrot that. No mind of his own. No mind of his own. I think this person might be dating ChatGPT. Every time meeting someone with a non-English accent, immediately working into the conversation that he lived in Spain for 3 months and can speak Spanish, then doing so, even if they didn't speak Spanish. This is Australia, so it's not as common as in other places. I also speak moderate Spanish and I'm proud of it, but come on. I'm sorry, but this is so funny to picture them interacting this way with, like, a Chinese person. So self-centered. She belly danced as a hobby and was constantly expressing jealousy of other dancers. It was supposed to be fun, but she made it into unpleasant drama all the time. Buying a ton of shoes and takeaway, then complaining about not having money to save for a holiday. I get people do what they want with money, but he'd dismiss me when I'd say go take away free for a month and save that money for a staycation. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Once again, my name is Nova, and I am not an AI.